everybody who's dying in the city right now from this hurricane, they're not white. You know, there might be like a small portion of them. It's all communities of color. Just like when I went to New Orleans, it was like the only people who were dying were like the communities of color. They're not going to take it anymore. I don't think a lot of people understand that, and I think that a lot of white people, in a non-guilt-tripping manner, gotta start changing the way that they treat others, big time, especially the First Nations peoples. I mean, in my faith, in the Baha'i faith, I remember like Abdul Baha, who was the son of the founder, said some profound stuff. It was just like, you know, the African American community also, it's hard to say this, but it shouldn't. I feel like it's a racist thing for me not to be able to talk about how, like, some reality of some things. Like, my family, you know, we were on the side of the Union. Like, we would sacrifice ourselves for our black brothers and sisters, for their emancipation. You know, this is probably one of the only countries where people of other races fight for each other. It's not a totally racist place. And Abdu'l-Baha said that if there is not recognition of that, that there can't be a way forward. And I would say that that's secondary to white people changing the way that they treat people of color. And that, for me, coming from New Mexico, I had an epiphany this year. And I was like, how does any goddamn person who's got white skin, like, how does anybody with white skin have any right to say that somebody south of the border is an illegal immigrant when this is a young country that displaced the First Nations? People from Mexico, like 95% of people from Mexico are of indigenous origin. How can you say somebody who's indigenous to this continent when you're not is an illegal fucking immigrant? Like, if I like, you better like be extremely careful. And I implore every person who is of European heritage to not be afraid to punish another person who's white for saying something like that. Racist, bigoted stuff is as like de-ontward as Ninja says, is like 1989. Like, that is like so old.